Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching on BuffaloPlus.com and on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. We got over 100 subscribers now, so keep them coming. And, guys, we were up late last night blogging, doing podcasts, everything under the sun. But the hype around the Bills schedule still hasn't fizzled out. Like, possibly 12-4. I know I got text from a couple buddies saying there's no way the Bills can win 12 games. What would have to go right? And I just kind of threw it out there for the Bills to win 12 games.
Well, look, they're a talented team. I think if you look at their roster top to bottom, they're definitely top 10, maybe top 5 in overall roster. I think that's fair to say. They've got talent, young talent. They've got a quarterback who improved. But when I see a team at 12, we've seen it happen before where a team gets some breaks. I mean, look at last year's Bills team. I don't know if they were a 10-win team, but they found ways. They stayed away from injuries. They won close games. They found that way to get it done, and Josh did enough, came through in the clutch for them, and they won 10. Now to take that next step to 12 with a tougher schedule, I think it's going to take a lot of those things together. But, Jenna, I think it starts with the guy behind center.
Absolutely. Josh Allen, it's the most important player on the field in terms of position, and that will be the indicator of where this Bills team can get. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, the defense is a huge part of it. But at the same point, if you need to win games, you need to score points. And we've seen this team struggle last year. Obviously, they added pieces. A guy like Stephon Diggs, what can he do? But he also has to have the person throwing him the ball. So is Josh Allen going to be able to capitalize on a player like Stephon Diggs? Now, Allen has made improvements from year 1 to year 2. Now it's got to be, can he make those improvements and more year 2 to 3?
I thought Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football, Mike, we were just joking about it off air, that literally every single fan base right now is going, it doesn't matter if they were a good team or a bad team. It's 10-6. Oh, I can see these guys going 10-6.
Well, yeah,
and I agree
10-6. You're right, Dan. 10-6 is a number when you're talking about your team. When you're talking about the team you don't like, it's easy to get them to 7-9. I think 7-9 is the default other way.
But it was funny because I mentioned that last night. I think it was either on the podcast or the blog that we posted, that I said I didn't think 12 wins was out of the question. And again, just like you said, Mike, they have to catch a lot of breaks. I thought they were only going to be a 7-8 win team last year. They won 10 games because they caught the Giants at a good time. They caught the Redskins at a good time. They stayed healthy, like you said. My question is, do you guys think that the 20 years of mediocrity has any effect on possibly thinking that the Bills could be a 12-win team?
Yeah, I've sort of escaped from the mediocrity part because they have made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. And they're a stable organization. They draft well. They're keeping their players. Like, they're doing everything right. But now we're looking at elevating yourself to that next step, right? And look at the teams that have done that. The Baltimore Ravens did it last year. And you got to say, it was pretty spectacular play out of their quarterback. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has done that from his years. That was a good team. He turned them into a Super Bowl champion. We've seen that happen in the NFL. To me, that's the step from being good to great. And that's why I said it's going to be the quarterback. When you mentioned the staying healthy part, they were absurdly healthy last year.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it's tough to say, you're not predicting injuries. There's a level of luck that goes with it. They also have an outstanding staff and a great facility, and the players take care of themselves. But some of it does come down to a little bit of luck of staying healthy. And last year, it was truly remarkable of how few man games, they would call it, that they lost last year. Maybe that'll happen again this year. That would be a big plus for them.
Yeah, I think when you ask the question of, like, is it the 20 years of mediocrity from the Bills that we've seen? But I feel like, if anything, the reason I personally don't think they're going to win 12 games is just going off of last year and how many close games the Bills played in, and they had things go their way. That first game against the Jets, they had the ability to pull it out against the Bengals, even down in Tennessee. Like, they had a lot of luck, it's important. Mm-hmm. It's very important for a football team to have luck. Mike mentioning it with injuries. But I think if you're going to have 12 wins, you need to be both lucky and good. That doesn't happen.
But I think that's exactly it. I think that this team, like I said, you can't control the luck, but this team is good. They won 10 games last year. Could have been 11. Mike, I know you make the point it could have been 9. It could have been 8. But it wasn't. It was 10 wins, 7. And they threw away Week 17.
I'm hesitant. I am. don't get me wrong. I know this roster is better.
I'm not drinking Kool-Aid either. Don't get that
I
impression.
know. I just feel like their schedule is a lot harder this year.
Proven teams. They're playing against proven teams. And here's the other thing. If you're going to go 12-4, and the Bills in the Super Bowl era did it 4 times, 3 of those teams went to the Super Bowl. Every one of those teams went 5-1 in the division. So, okay, I see this assumption they're beating the Patriots twice. Belichick still is coaching. But look, I think they're a better team right now than New England. And then the Jets, and the Dolphins. So, if you come up with those 5, look at the other teams that they're playing this year. And I'm not saying you can't get it done, but if you go 5-1 in the division, you've got to go 7-3 in those other games. And they are playing the Rams and the Steelers and the 2 Super Bowl teams from last year. I mean, and at Tennessee. I mean, this is not an easy schedule. At Denver. Like, they've got some serious – Arizona. They got some serious talent that they're going up against. And I'm not saying
I agree with
you. It can happen, but – they got to be really good. They got to be considerably better than last year, I think, to go 12-4.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we are talking about this on May 8th. It's not, well, this isn't one of those things where you're like, well, things could change. Things will change.
Yeah.
They will absolutely be different. But it's just kind of crazy when, you look at this team that was 10-6 last year, and then you also kind of go, well, they're going to get Harrison Phillips back, who nobody's really talking about. They added Stephon Diggs. At one point it was like, who can catch the ball for the Bills? It was Duke Williams. It's like a lot of those things that feel like they've shored up, and things seem to be going the right direction. My friends will go crazy listening to this blog going, yeah, are you drinking the Kool-Aid? I'm not. I'm just saying, when you want to ask and say, is there a chance to get 12 wins? Yes, there's a chance. I'm not terrified of Vegas. I don't know what's going to happen with Derek Carr and what's going to go on in that environment. The Chargers will either have Tyrod or a rookie quarterback coming to Buffalo. The Rams took a massive step back. I look at some of these games where, we looked at what the NFC East was last year, and it wasn't as daunting once they actually got there.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, last year they were losing to the Bengals. They were losing to the Dolphins, both of those games at home. The Titans missed 4 field goals in a game. The Jets kicked away the game in New Jersey. So what I'm saying is, yes, when you look back, if we were looking ahead to the Bengals and the Dolphins this past year, you'd be saying sort of the same thing. And I'm not holding it against them. The big plus they have this year is that continuity. And I think that is going to be huge in 2020. Same coaching staff, same quarterback, same offensive coordinators. I mean, that is a massive plus for them. So I will say we could see teams look really lost this season if things stay the way they are, and then all of a sudden it's ramped up and we've got a season. I think that's a big plus for the Bills. Then we might be talking about 14-2. Who knows?
Could you imagine? I mean, hey, I think if the Bills were to win 12 games, this is a team that, the expectation, I think, for them is for them to get to the playoffs. But if you win 12 games, do you not think, okay, this team is going to be one of the best in the division?
Oh, yeah. They're going to win the division.
You're looking at a bye.
You're looking at a bye. You're looking at the possibility, the expectations and the bar are immensely raised.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jenna. And when you say that, you go 12-4, as good as I think the Ravens can be, they're in a division with Steelers getting Ben back. The Bengals were so bad, but now they got maybe the rookies better, and maybe the Browns right the ship. It's going to be hard to win 12 games in that division.
Yeah.
Here's one last thing I'll add. Vegas has them right now favored in 11 games. And like I said, analysts can be wrong. Like I always go back to that. The Bills love to play this underdog. Nobody picked us. But even in some of the games, they were still they were 1 or 2 point favorites. Like, analysts and experts can be wrong. Vegas is very rarely wrong. Very few times are they wrong.
So Vegas for this season has them favored in 11 games.
Yeah.
On May 8th.
Hey, Jenna, can you look down from your spot and see what flavor Kool-Aid Dan is drinking?
There's been a lot of it. I'm shocked by you, Dan. I actually am.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying they're going to win 12 games. Let's make that clear. I'm saying it could happen. A lot of things could happen. We could not have a season. The Bills could go 16-0.
Winning 7 games.
Yep.
So
and it's interesting, Mike,
the difference?
it's interesting because Mike makes a good point. He talks about that Cincinnati game. He talks about that Miami game where they trailed and all of those things. But they found a way to win them.
Yeah,
like
that's
bad
a plus.
Bad teams find a way to lose games. Good teams find a way to win games. And when they went into hostile environment in Pittsburgh and won again in the fourth quarter, when they blew them out, when they blew the Cowboys out in Dallas, like the team changed. Like at some point after Josh, I feel like got knocked out and had that, by the Patriots, I did see a different team in the second half. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I'm with you on that. I think it is a team that can do this. It is funny, isn't it, that we are going to a time from the Bills a couple of years ago where Sean McDermott benched Tyrod Taylor and it was anarchy. And we're thinking, did they get the right guy? To now we're trying to decide, are they going to win the division with 11 wins or 14 wins this coming season? And is 12 too high? Maybe they'll only win 10 and win the division this year. So that's a nice problem to have.
It was football weather outside today. It was snowing.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'm over it.
Well, at least we're providing you. We're providing the content to keep you guys warm inside and staying safe and socially
especially
distanced.
you.
And can you heat up that Kool-Aid? Maybe and make it like almost like a tea.
Hot toddy.
Hot toddy. Oh my God.
All right. Well, thanks for watching here on BuffaloPlus.com as well as the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, comment, let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We will happily do it. For Mike Catalana and Jenna Cottrell, I'm Dan Fates. Thanks for watching.